Let's go on the record in cause number 2020 CR 5256, the state of Texas versus Francisco Munguia. Attorneys, please make your announcements.
Jessica Gonzalez for Mr. Munguia.
Raul, is this one yours? I think we lost Raul. Are you online, Raul?
I thought I saw him move.
There you are.
I'm sorry, Judge, I appear to be having some sort of
Oh, Lord.
issues, maybe. Kind of dropped out for a second.
I'm having a hard time.
I can hear you now, though.
Okay, you can hear me? Okay. Announcement, please, for Munguia.
Yes, Your Honor. Raul Jordan for the state of Texas.
Okay. Mr. Munguia is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Mr. Munguia, can you hear us? Can you hear us, sir?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to mute you for a little bit. All right, I do have a motion for examining trial that I have denied as moot because the case has been indicted and we're talking about the robbery charge. Mr. Munguia had two charges, a robbery and also a possession 1 to 4 grams that was rejected, but the robbery was indicted. And so let's start with defense. This is your motion for pretrial requests and demands. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The motion outlines 3 different things that I am requesting. One is going to be a demand for a speedy and public trial. It is just a written demand. I completely understand what is going on with the pandemic and the current situation in Bexar County. However, in case later down the line, I do need to argue on behalf of my client's rights being violated for speedy trial issues, I just needed to put this request for a speedy trial, a speedy and public trial on the record. So I'm doing so in the form of this motion. My second request is also something that is statutorily authorized under Article 3914 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Any request by a defense in order to receive evidence from the state is considered, we are making that request and getting the information. However, typically what is done in the courtroom is I am there and present with the state of Texas. I am able to see them notate on their file that I have made a verbal request for the evidence. Since that is not possible right now, I am doing it in the form of this motion. So that way, again, if there's some sort of violation of 3914 later down the line, I do have a copy of this motion that I have made this request on behalf of my client. Lastly, under Chapter 25 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, it states that once there is a demand and a request that is done for a copy of the indictment, that the clerk of the court shall deliver a copy of the indictment to the counsel at the earliest possible date. Again, given the situation, typically when I'm in the courtroom and able to get access to the courthouse, I'm able to walk into the court offices and get a copy for my records. Since that is not safely possible for me to do right now, I am asking the court to do an order to have the clerk email me or through e-file system, deliver that copy to me so that I can add that to my case file for my client and then be able to prepare while we have some downtime awaiting the trial. So those are the 3 requests in that motion.
State.
Yes, Your Honor. In response, the state will, of course, comply with the law in 3914, and we will provide evidence in the same way that we always have. As defense counsel knows, as well as the court, we use the e-discovery system. So whenever we have any piece of evidence that arrives to us, we upload it to the system and make it accessible to defense via that medium. We will also comply with any, of course, Brady obligations or anything along those lines that arises as the case moves forward in time, as the state becomes aware of that information. They would obviously have no objection for defense to receive a copy of the indictment regarding the Chapter 25 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, and that's the state's position, Your Honor.
Okay, I will make no ruling as to the speedy trial request, but I will note for the record that it was requested. I will grant the 3914 and grant the copy of the indictment being delivered electronically to defense counsel. Anything else on this motion?
Not on this motion, Your Honor.
Okay, let's move on to the writ, please. What do you have, Ms. Gonzalez, on the writ?
Yes, Your Honor. I met with my client while he was in custody. While I do not have access to the state's file, which is normally where I'm able to review the NCIC, TCIC, I do not, in speaking to my client and then the search I was able to do on Bexar County, I do not see that there's any violent convictions in my client's history. He has been living in Bexar County for over 2 years now. However, he does not have many family or friends that actually live here that are able to post the bond for him. So on behalf of my client, given the current situation in Bexar County Jail with a rapidly spreading virus and the danger it poses to his health and safety, and the fact that he does not have that violent criminal history, I am requesting a PR bond on behalf of my client. If the PR bond is not granted, he will be forced to remain in custody until this case does go to trial. And as we all know, that is going to be a considerable delay given the current situation. So on behalf of my client, I am requesting a PR bond.
What is his bond set at right now? And where would he go live? Okay, my clerk is informing me that his bond is set at 25,000. Where would
That's what I have in my records is 25,000 because the $5,000 bond for the drug charge is now going to be moot as that case was dismissed.
right? Where would he go live?
I'm reviewing my notes from my visit.
Uh-huh.
I do not have that information, Your Honor. I would need to call my client as a witness to be able to explain to the court where he would go stay.
Go ahead.
I call Mr. Mejia.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give in this call shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may proceed, Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you. Sir, can you please tell the court where you will be going to live if the court is to release you on a PR bond?
The Haven for Hope.
Okay. Have you stayed there in the past?
No, I haven't, ma'am.
Okay. Where did you stay before you were arrested?
I was actually homeless.
Okay.
I didn't have an ID or nothing.
All right. So will you be able to get your ID so that you can stay at Haven for Hope?
Yes, ma'am. They'll be able to give it to me there.
All right. And if the court is to release you on pretrial a PR bond, will you report as directed to pretrial services, make all of your appointments, keep all of your appointments, and follow the rules and conditions the judge lays out for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I pass the witness.
State, do you have any questions of the witness?
We do not, Your Honor. No questions from the state.
State, what is your position on the bond?
Judge, I think granting the nature of the offense, as far as I can tell, he does not have any prior violent history in Bexar County, like Ms. Gonzalez was saying. However, because of the nature of the offense itself, it being a robbery, I think it's a fair bond. The state would be opposed to a PR bond because of that, violent nature of this pertaining offense and being a robbery. So that would be the state's position, I think, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Gonzalez, on the application for writ?
Yes, Your Honor. My response to the state's argument is, while that is something that the court should consider or can consider while looking at this request, it is something that should not be given too much weight, as my client is presumed innocent by the Constitution of the United States. There's been no additional evidence that's been presented to substantiate those claims. So I believe that just looking at the name of the charge itself as robbery can be prejudicial to my client. And if anything, looking at his convictions where there has been a finding by a court convicting of something, that is going to create more, or should be given more weight. And since he does not have a violent history, I am still requesting that PR bond.
What I'll do on this request is I will take it under advisement. I will interview him for a PR bond and I will make a decision once I receive the report back.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anything
Thank you,
further?
Your Honor. Nothing further
Nothing
from the state, Your
further
Honor.
on Mr. Mejia.
All right, thank you.